power formed by a group of people working together has within his grasp one of the greatest powers known to man: community. Community gives us a strong quality of life, and you're welcome this evening to our Community Garda Medal Award. And we welcome especially Superintendent Wolfe. We welcome Minister Jennifer Carroll McNeill, Cormac Devlin TD, our local councillors, Mary Baker, members of the Garda Síochána, and members of all our community groups and Urban Junction. It's lovely to see you here today. And it takes a village to raise a child. And we know that, those of you with children, with young adult children, or with elderly parents. We need community, we need each other. It's how we develop and grow. And you know, Mark Twain said, I could live for 2 months on a compliment. And so we've come to express our thanks this evening. But just before we start, do you know, as human beings, we are wired to the negative. It is easier for us to be critical and think of the negative than positive. We actually have to practice being thankful. And Martin Seligman of Positive Psychology says we need 5 positives to 1 negative for individuals, families and communities to flourish. And we're looking to flourish in our community because that's where we have a quality of life. And interestingly, less than 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 3 to 1 negatives to positive, we can be all right, but we don't flourish. And more than 5 to 1, if it's 6 to 1 or if it's 2 over positive, we don't flourish either because people know it's not real. And so how we see life and how we live together, practicing being grateful, practicing appreciation, being a good neighbour, a good friend, good in the community, really shapes how we live as people and helps us grow. And this evening we want to say, express our appreciation and our thanks to our local guards for all they do, our community guards, seen and unseen. We appreciate you. And I'm going to invite now, I'm going to tell you first of all about the medal. So this medal that we have, I'm working the mic. The medal that we have this evening to be given in the award has been given by Colum, the son of James Riley, O'Reilly. And the number on the medal is engraved 12340. And it was given of the Dublin Metropolitan Police in 1923 in recognition from his colleagues for his work. So now it's being passed on to the men and women of the Garda for their continuing good work. And I'm going to invite Superintendent Wolfe, and he is going to tell us now who has been chosen and why.
Thank you, Diane. Good evening. Before I reveal the 2 names, I do want to just take this opportunity to thank Alan very much for having this event, for giving us the opportunity to have such a lovely community event this evening. We have thankfully a long history of policing in Blackrock, back to 1840 in fact, but it's back to 1923 I suppose, in Garda Síochána and their then guys of the Dublin Metropolitan Police were here. I think I have our leaflet from last year from our centenary. Constable Lawrence Keogh first lit the lamp on the 17th of August 1923. And throughout all that time we've had so much support from the community, and it really is, it's great to have an opportunity to thank people, both people and the businesses, because when the guys are out there at 3 o'clock in the morning, when they're on the M50 or they're going to a difficult call, it is so heartening for my members to know that the support is there, and it's really, really brilliant to have events like this. So again, passed on to the members who are doing the work. We can't ignore the challenges that guards face, but one Small example is last Friday morning, the amount of goodwill we felt in Blackrock Garda station just by biscuits and gifts and all that were dropped into the station, and it really was heartening and lovely to see that outpouring, because people are good, the people of Blackrock are good, and they give that support to us. We really are forever in their debt. But this evening I want to talk briefly about the two recipients. It's my pleasure to say it's Garda Ciara Morris and Garda Dave Kelleher. Garda Kelleher and Garda Morris are in Blackrock Garda Station a number of years. Then I think it was maybe 18 months or 2 years ago, we moved them into the community policing role, which is a really important role in our I suppose in the organisation, but in the job we do. And it was so. I was so delighted to see that they took on the role so much, and whether that was going into schools and talking to children, whether it was helping out with, say, the rehab centre up there in Slorgan, whether it was welcoming Santa to the village, they really have been engaged. And I suppose I often tell the two of them, I don't judge it by a screen or by a KPI. I judge it when I see it. I hear it back from the local councillors, from the local community. That I see that they're out there doing the work. So it's an absolute credit for me to be here this evening to say this about them. And it's not only in relation to community work. They are, I suppose, first and foremost police, there to protect us, and I only have to go back to last August when I think of a significant arrest and capture they made up in Slorgan. So I won't go into that further, but I want to thank them very much for that. So the journey is
Now I'm going to invite Belinda Briggs from Urban Junction, who's going to present the medal.
Good evening. My name is Belinda. I'm the Centre Manager of Urban Junction, which is a community project beside the library, where we have activities for children, teenagers, families and older adults. We're passionate about building community and that sense in our area of togetherness and about people working together. Since we started a teenage disco, it was about 25 years ago, called Bounce, and we've been blessed that the Gardaí and Blackrock have been so supportive, and they've been all about community engagement too. They're not distant figures in uniforms, but they're active community members working alongside us. Building relationships is really central to what we do. Treating each other with respect, building trust, listening well, and looking out for those who are perhaps struggling. I've got to know Garda's Ciara and Dave, particularly with our work with older folk over the past little while. Some of them are here to say thanks tonight. They drove us in their Garda cars during the summer down to Glendalough, and we had lots of photographs in the cars, and they enjoyed the handcuffs and had lots of laughs. So they're a good pair. They know many of our group by name. They will pop into them. Yeah, for a good reason, yes. They check in on them in their homes to make sure they feel safe and to remind them that they're not alone. So we really appreciate your warmth and your practical kindness to people. We see it. And so it's our honour to be here tonight to do this with you and to commend all of the Gardaí that we have here in Blackrock, but in particular you two. We're grateful for you, and so we wanted to extend our appreciation with a medal and some other gifts. Ciara, which one do you want more? You go purple. Okay. I'm here. Some of your colleagues as well. Yes, you did. I know you did. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Can you hold all this?
I think so.
For the photograph. Right here, take the box. Hold this. Here, I'll take the box. Right, have your photos.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you so much for these beautiful gifts that you've awarded to myself and Ciara. As the superintendent mentioned, we've been in this role just roughly about 18 months. It's been an absolute honour to get to know so many of you in the room. There's a few of you who haven't got the chance to meet yet, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to do that in the near future. There's so many wonderful community initiatives going on in this area, and we've been so lucky to be welcomed into so many of them by so many of you here tonight. There's some phenomenal community work being done in this area, and we want to say thank you very much for coming here tonight and getting this opportunity to recognise that, and thank you very much to everyone who's organised and the hosts here today as well. We have now Superintendent Gordon Wolfe, Inspector Francis Gormley and Sergeant Matthew Toomey all over the community section as well as other roles within the Garda, and we've been very lucky that we have a management structure that's so committed to community policing within the area. Myself and Ciara are the community guards, but the reality is that every guard in Blackrock Garda station in this area is committed to that community initiative as well. So it may not be the community guard that calls up to your home or checks in on people, but they're all out there meeting the community, engaging with the community. It's been a complicated and interesting week in the Guards, but I've never been prouder to be a member of the Garda Síochána. Myself and Ciara saw on Thursday night so many of our colleagues willing to rush into a situation to put their own safety at risk, to protect people, to protect property and to protect this country. And I think we were so touched and honoured to see that, and so proud to be members of the Garda Síochána. So thank you very much for recognising us today, but thank you very much for recognising the work of the Garda in this area. Thank you so much. Well done.
Good evening to you all. I'm Viv Gaines, Centre Director here in the Frascati Centre, and surrounded by my fabulous team of Richard, Alan, Rachel, and of course our very own James Bond there. Countess is putting on the old Dickie both Fridays. First off, I'd like to say you're so welcome to come to Frascati. It's not for most of you, you're here regularly and we love to see you. You are a familiar face of Frascati. When Alan rang me to see if I would say a few words on behalf of the Frascati Centre, I said, to be honest, in order to demonstrate our appreciation of the guards we have in our community, we'd love to host it, because for us, our business could not be as safe and as secure and us have the confidence in running it if it wasn't for the fantastic guards that we have around us every single day of the week. And I have to say, you give us great security, you give us great confidence. We have a wonderful two-way relationship, and I want to see that develop more and more, because you are fantastic. I think the admiration and the respect that everybody's showing you, certainly since last Friday morning, is exceptional, and it is beyond deserved. But on behalf of the Frascati team, I have to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're wonderful, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Feeney, and I'm chairman of the Blackrock Business Association. I heard Mark Twain was quoted this evening. Another one of his quotes was that it takes me at least 3 weeks to prepare an impromptu speech. So, on behalf of the Blackrock business community, I'd like to first of all congratulate Ciara and David. Well done, richly deserved. I saw you chatting with the people over here, and I thought the engagement and the friendship between you was great to see. So that's very much part of what you do, and well done for creating such a good community spirit. The Blackrock Business Association always has had a good relationship with the community. Garda, going back to Kitty Murray's time, to Pat MacDonald, Niamh and Pat, and more recently Gemma Conway. We've always had a really good relationship. And the Blackrock Garda have a very good record in community engagement and partnership. And this was very evident on Sunday last when Santa and his entourage came to town. I think, Ciara, it was you and Dave who saved the day when they were aiming to go down the main street against the traffic and you sent them down the bike lane. So well done for saving the day. The other event that the community Garda very much feature in is the leprechaun chase on St. Patrick's Day. And while the community Garda play a great role in marshalling everything, it's also a bit of fun, and it enables everybody in the community and ourselves in the business community to get together, have a day of fun, get to know one another, and everything passes off really well and really nicely. So we're looking forward to March of next year. So I just finished by saying congratulations again and well done, and keep up the good work.
Good evening. My name is Geraldine Tracy and I'm Director of Nursing at Our Lady's Hospice. But I'm here on behalf of Blackrock Hospice, first of all to say congratulations, but also on behalf of the team at Blackrock Hospice to say a huge thank you. We have really wonderful neighbours, and of course one of our most important neighbours is our Garda colleagues across the road. When I started in Blackrock Hospice, very quickly, we had an incident arose that I had to go and speak to the guards, and I was told, but that's not a problem, you just walk across the road. And I was met with such support, I was given wonderful advice, and I can just say that our whole team feel really, really supported by you guys, and it makes our job that little bit easier and a little bit safer. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aubrey McCarthy, and I'm involved in a charity called Tiglin. We have a housing charity, an addiction charity. So we deal a lot with homeless people on the streets of Dublin. The last time I was at an event like this, the woman who was introducing me, she got a little bit nervous and she said, we have a representative from Tiglin, Mr. Ovaries McCarthy. So do remember, it's Aubrey. But I just want to say it's fantastic to be here and see Ciara and Dave being recognised as wonderful community examples of gardening on the streets. With Tiglin, we have learned to work with people in absolute chaos and people that have really fallen on hard times. And I will say, the Gardaí in Pearse Street, who we work closely with, we feed 500 a day in Pearse Street. We have Greystones, we've Nace, we've different areas that we work closely with the Gardaí. And it said somewhere that true leaders have empathy with the people that they try to lead. And I would say about the Gardaí that we work with, they have empathy for the people that we work with. They understand where they're coming from and they try to work with them. And you have been an absolute beacon to us at Tiglin. So I'm delighted to celebrate with you this evening. And it's also wonderful to see Jennifer and Cormac, local reps here, and we're all in it as a community. And after what happened last weekend, it's wonderful that we salute you as our community guide. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Alan Green. I'm the minister in Kelleher Church of Ireland. So as a minister, I'm only going to speak for 22 minutes, and so please be seated. I want to say thank you. I don't know who you are, but I know what you represent, and I think you're rock stars. My best friend is a guard. I feel if I was opening for hairdressers, my best friend is also a hairdresser, but that's not true. Well, my best friend is a guard. He's a sergeant down in our club, and so I've been with him before. He went through the training and learning all the things he has to learn, and it's never shown, but you just do it in your job every single day and how you show up. And what I love about you, I think all guards deserve the utmost respect because you bring order to chaos in so many ways, and yet in that order it's a place of peace and respect, wanting to love and serve everyone that you connect with. I was thinking about how you said there's 5 positives for every negative. And I notice we have 5 guards here. I'm just a little nervous who's the negative. But in this space, I think it's only right that you are honoured. And I really love that this invite came a couple of weeks ago. And so this is not a response to last week, but this is very much a proactive decision to thank you and to bless you and to honour you for what you do. So I hope you feel a glimpse of that love and support for all that you give to this community. So thank you so much from all of us as well, from Kelleher too. So thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Alan Kilpatrick. I'm representing the Blackrock Community Men's Shed in Rockfield Park. And it's lovely to be here and it's lovely to be here to see Ciara and Dave receiving a medal. It's wonderful. We started in Urban Junction in 2017 with our men's shed, and we had started off with 4 or 5 members, and it grew to about 12 or 14 when we finished up there about 2019. And we were very fortunate in getting a very good site in Blackrock in the Rockfield Park. But I just forgot something there. When we were in Urban Junction, we had a visit, a knock on the door, and there was this Garda outside, and we said, "What's going on? We're a clean living group of men. No drinking, no smoking." He says, "I'd like to come and give a talk to you all." And it was Harry Poole, and I'm sure you'll know of him. I'm not sure, I don't think he's based in Blackrock now, but Harry had an assignment to do for one of his courses. And he said, "I need to come and talk to you all and give a talk about home safety and personal safety." And we set a date, and he came along and gave us a wonderful talk, and there was loads and loads of questions afterwards, so we were delighted to have him. And as I said, now we went on to, we're in Rockfield Park now, back up here beside the care centre for the Alzheimer's, and we're in the field there in the park beside the tennis court, and we have a wonderful spot there, and we have about 30 members, and ranging from about 48 up to 92. And our 92-year-old member comes on a Vespa scooter. So guards, when you see him riding over the bridge on his Vespa scooter, don't stop him. He has a green Vespa, so he's a character. So we have had a number of calls by the Garda, the community guards. Don't think we've seen either of you up at the shed, but I hope you'll come up for a cup of tea sometime. But we've had numerous drop-ins where they've come in to talk to us and give us their support, and they're always welcome, and we love to see you and see your presence and hear from you and to hear what's going on around us and to give us whatever support that we need. And we very much appreciate your presence, and we thank you very much for all the services you give to the Blackrock area and all the services throughout the country, and we are very grateful for all of that. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Tom Luby, and I represent Clysters Residents Association, and we've been in existence for about 30 years. And throughout that time, our local Garda have supported us in our initiatives and in all the humdrum work as well that goes on day by day. I'd just like to mention, just in terms of the neighbourhood watch, you've attended meetings out of hours and all of that, and you've provided, support and follow through on issues which we really do appreciate. All our residents appreciate. We have about 180 different houses in the estate. We also would like to thank you for the effort you've put in on our initiatives for road safety with the kids and that over the years. And we still kids talk about the days that they went even to the cells when they were empty down below in Blackrock. It's in there, and I remember those, so it's a great thing. And it's a great way of creating interest in road safety within the estate. And of course, life is also made up of humdrum, some stuff that you have to keep moving on and keep pressing. And in relation to parking and traffic issues, you've helped us down consistently throughout the period that we've been in existence, and we want to let you know we appreciate that effort as well on the humdrum. And then, I suppose just finally, but not least, of importance, on the rare occasions when you've intervened very sensitively on some issues in the park and in our own estate. That hasn't gone unnoticed by our residents either, our people, and we really do appreciate that sensitive touch and that empathic touch that you've delivered. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Sean O'Ronan. I'm here on behalf of Agape Ireland. I was asked to do a bit of a kind of a youth perspective maybe on what it means to see this award today. I'm living in Stillorgan with my wife, and I wanted to share a brief story of my kind of first interaction with two Gardaí that really kind of showed me the incredible work that Gardaí do in Ireland, but I didn't really realise. My wife, Alouette, and I were coming home from an event with students late one evening to realise that our home was broken into. And after kind of a few minutes of me absolutely being kind of shocked, people in my wardrobe and in our house, I realised I need to call the Gardaí. And the Gardaí came super quickly. Two guys came, absolutely brilliant lads. And to my horror though, I was a bit flustered, and when they came to the door, I kind of thought maybe these are the two lads who robbed us and they put on Garda uniforms. I need to stop them. So I asked, to my disgrace, asked them for identity. I kind of apprehended them at the door. Guys, I need to see your identification. We laughed it off, and they were really kind to us. They stepped in and really dealt with the situation. And there's a few things from that evening that I think relate to what I've heard from this evening with regards to Garda David and Garda Ciara. And those things were, firstly, was the commitment to respond to a situation. I was really in awe of these two lads who stepped into the room and were willing to get into a situation. They didn't really know what was going on, but they came in, and I think so much, like maybe people think I'm just doing my duty, but often in these situations it's so much more than that. It's really stepping into a place where you don't know what's going to happen or you don't know what's going on. And I think in that moment it gave me so much comfort to know that there's people here who know what they're doing. So that goes on to the second thing that I noticed that evening, and that was the excellent level to how they did their job. It's great comfort for me as somebody who's my house broken into, that these two men know what they're doing and they're able to deal with the situation and give me and my wife a sense of kind of, we've got this and we know what's happening. And then thirdly, I think, which stood out to me was the care that the Gardaí had for myself and my wife. In that situation, we were just flustered, and the Gardaí listened to our questions, and they sat us down and kind of processed through the situation with us. And it was so much more than just doing a job, but they really took the time to deal with us. And in the middle of that, I think, as I was thinking about this today and getting to thank you too, in the work that I do with university students, there's often a sense of this question of who am I and what am I doing, what am I here for? And often those questions of self lead us to kind of really get insular, and all we think about is ourselves, and we don't think about the people around us. And I wanted to thank you for the inspiration of the stories I've heard today, or getting to hear what people are talking about, the community work done here. It's clear not only that you commit to the work that you need to do at the time when you're asked for, and you do it to a high standard of excellency, but you also really care for the people in the area. And I think that's something that I'm really grateful for, and I think it's an inspiration to the students I work with. That there are people in our community who know what they're doing, they know how to do it, and not only that, they care for the people around them. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Diane, for the introduction, and indeed for the welcome here this evening, and also to Viv Gain for putting on yet another event in Blackrock. I said of the last one that I was here for that it would be coming almost like a theatre in the heart of Blackrock, but you're very welcome obviously to do that too. But to Superintendent Wolfe, to your team, in particular obviously to Garda Ciara and to Garda David, it's wonderful to be here this evening. I want to commend the Superintendent for putting this award together and to bestowing it to the two very hard-working, as we've heard, community Gardaí. Just 18 months, and look at the impact you both had and the way you've been embraced by the community. And it's a credit to both of you, because I know how on the ground you are and how engaged with the community you are. As Tom said, it was just the other day for Santa's arrival. There you were, well in advance of his arrival. And I think it just shows the commitment and dedication that you give all the time. I wasn't aware, though, I have to say, about Urban Junction and the ladies on the couch over there. I didn't know whether you were from Crime Call that I remembered you, or whether I remembered you all being arrested and being brought down to Glendalough. That's new news to me. But I think because of what we've heard tonight, because of the invaluable nature of community policing, and let's be frank, the Gardaí in this country, they have a different style of policing. It's purely community based, and it's I suppose it's an example what we're here for this evening, of what Ciara and Dave do every single day of the week. They engage with community organisations, they engage with businesses, but also they engage with the wider community at very difficult times. And if we only reflect back to COVID and how difficult it was in the community, the one organisation that was at the heart of it all were the Gardaí, spearheading, always going into work, always being on call and being there for people through a very tumultuous time. So to all the Gardaí, I want to say how much we as public representatives, we appreciate your service. Obviously, in light of last Thursday, things are different and there are serious challenges, not only here in Dublin but across the country. But we know that with the engagement of the community Gardaí that we have here in Blackrock, in David and Ciara and others, that we're very, very lucky to have such exemplary service. So to both of the Gardaí, thank you very much, congratulations, and it's wonderful to be here this evening.
Minister Jennifer Carol McNeil, you're welcome.
Thank you, Diane, thank you, Alan, and thank you so much for organising this tonight and for celebrating on Garda Síochána. I cannot think of a more appropriate day to celebrate on Garda Síochána. I cannot think of a more appropriate time to celebrate on Garda Síochána. And I in particular can't think of a better way of doing that than celebrating our community Gardaí. And to Garda David and Garda Ciara, congratulations, but more importantly, thank you for the work that you have been doing in the community and that you continue to do. And I cannot think of a better way of expressing that than through the voices of the community with whom you're working every day. This is an incredibly important time in our locality, but it's an incredibly important time in our country. And standing up and thanking the Gardaí is an important moment at this time. But it's also an important reflection of the work of the Gardaí and the work of the community in Blackrock at this time. As you know, we have all worked collectively, Cormac, myself, Councillor Mary Baker, and the whole community, Tom from the Business Association and on Garda Síochána, to make the right conditions for new people, international protection applicants and other people coming into our community and being part of that. And I have never seen a better example of a community coming together than what Blackrock did, and circulating correspondence to the whole community signed by sports groups, business groups, public representatives, all on an equal footing, and showing an honest representation of the feeling of the vast majority, the huge majority of Irish people, but particularly in Blackrock, and standing up and saying, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it in a totally integrated way. And Garda Síochána have been a huge part of that. Superintendent Wolfe and his team have been a huge part of that, and I thank you for it, and I thank the community for coming forward in that way, and how apt that it is today that we have that moment to celebrate on Garda Síochána and the community in this way. So thank you for doing it.
Thank you, everybody. So has been alluded to, at sometimes life is hard, but there's a deep richness in sustained relationships and connections within our community, because community is what gives us a strong quality of life, and it's the way we grow and develop together. So thank yous have been said. Thank you again to Viv and the team and to everybody for coming, and for the ministers and their councillors. And please stay now because we want to take some photographs. So please stay for that. And just in closing, I have a blessing from John O'Donoghue. As high over the mountains the eagle spreads its wings, may your perspective be larger than the view from the foothills. When the way is flat and dull in times of grey endurance, may your imagination continue to evoke horizons. May we live this day and evening compassionate of heart, clear in word, gracious in awareness, courageous in thought, and generous in love.